Hello, welcome back to Jonny Gios Photography. If you've liked this video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you've liked it and you would like to see more videos and get notified with that notification bell every time I do a new video. Trying to do one every couple of weeks at the moment, and this is my first tutorial video, so please be kind. And I'm just passing on things I picked up on my journey as an amateur photographer and growing as an amateur photographer to become semi-pro in the last year. So here we have a selection of photographs from Bempton Cliffs, some birds that have been sent to me by a friend's son who's just starting out in photography. Some cracking shots. I'm just going to go through them. Some shots I've already edited, some I haven't, and I'll explain why. But we're going to go through some of the shots now. In Lightroom, if you press the I button, it gives you the file name, the date it was taken, the time it was taken, and also the size in pixels of the image. If you press it again, it tells you the shutter speed, it tells you the f-stop, and also the ISO that it was set at, and also the focal distance that it was taken at. So this one was taken at 468 mils, and if you press it again, it goes off and goes off that screen, so it's not annoying. So I'm just going to go through some of these pictures that were sent to me. I think they were taken on a Canon or a Nikon, but as you look at the image file, there's an image file number and also a dot CR2 or another initials. For my camera, for Sony, it's ARW as a raw file name, but these have all been taken in RAW, which is good. Never take pictures in JPEG, they're just flat. You don't get the information out of them as you do with a raw picture, so always take your pictures in RAW if you're landscape or doing any sort of photography really, because you've got more to play with in Lightroom. Lightroom is the industry standard, so just get Lightroom if you can. It's a bit like if you're a graphic designer, you need InDesign, Illustrator, Photoshop in order to really function. It's the industry standard, that's what agencies use. And this is what people know, and it's just the best to use Lightroom. There's other ones out there on the market, but I don't think they're as good as Lightroom. So here we go, let's get into it. So we have this picture of a gannet just pruning his feathers, doing whatever they do at Bempton Cliffs. Probably wouldn't edit this picture because it's not as engaging as some of the other pictures that we've got in this set. Again, this one here, the gannet's looking down, the eye's not looking this way. However, I have edited this picture, and this is the original and this is the edit. So simply what I've done is just brought out the highlights and the shadows, a bit of vibrance, a bit of saturation, try and bring out that yellow, but also crop it as well. I've cropped it in a way, there you can see the crop, I've cropped it in a way that the gannet is more central, rather than having negative space on the right hand side. So that's a favourite of mine. Really great shot. This is another great shot. In fact, it's probably too much vibrance on this shot now. Look back at it. Love the water droplets on the top of the gannet's head, and the fact that you can see the rain. Probably bring this down just because there's a section here that my eye's being drawn to. A bit of a busy picture, but however, I do think it works. Bring up the shadows. Nice little bit down here for text or even for your signature. I always like to put my signature down at the bottom in the middle. Great shot. This one, love the droplets on the top of the head, but probably not as engaging as the other ones. Again, this one's good. It would have been nice if there was something in the mouth there. Busy down here with other gannets, so I probably would leave that one and maybe come back to it. Again, with this one, like it's almost like it's in height from tall, medium and small, so probably wouldn't edit this one either. This is a nice one, but if the eye would have been open, that would have been a nice thing to have. We can't have it all. And also there's some, it's almost like the photograph has been taken through reeds or some grass, and you can see the grass at the bottom here, so I wouldn't have done that here. Probably try to lift it up a bit more. Apologies for the sound in the background if you can hear the vacuum cleaning. This is engaging, but again, I can see its feet there just about, and it's looking up. But this one's a cracking shot. I'll just make a virtual copy of this and show you what the... So this is the original, and basically I've just kind of brought the blues out because I just love this curve here on the bottom of the beak and the curve round the top of his head. Probably bring the white down a bit, but you can see the grass in the background, and the fact that it's got a bit of grass in its beak there just tells a bit of a story that often these gannets go off from the nest and go and get some grass and bring it back to the nest. So cracking picture, well done. Again, looking through grass, although you have really kind of focused well on the bird and the focus has not picked up on the grass, so it's a good picture in terms of focusing, but there's loads of busyness going on there. This just looks scary. This looks like something from Angry Birds. The top of his head's missing, cropped off. You can tell what he's doing in terms of getting the grass, but again, I wouldn't probably edit this. Probably edit this one. Let's do an auto. Let's bring down the exposure of this, like the kind of the brocuth of these, the grasses. So the yellows here. Probably crop this. This is a bit more in the middle. A bit like that, and put a vignette on it as well. Yeah, I love the water droplets here. The camera's picked it up really well. Again, this looks like something from Angry Birds. It's got a funny neck on it, so probably leave that out. Some good shots of the owl at Bempton. There's two owls in a box, in a triangle box at the centre. Look out for it if you go. Shame there's no close-ups, but you did better than me because I didn't even get it on camera. Love this shot because from the top of here, top left down to the bottom right, it almost splits the picture up, and you've got the puffin in the centre. So if we could even like crop it a bit more so the puffin is actually in the centre, and lose these flowers at the top because they're a bit of a distraction, and also use the temperature to make it a bit more blue and lose the yellow, and bring up the contrast and put a slight increase of vignette. Love it, love it. So 5-star that, and give it a blue tag as well to know that that is a hero shot. This shot, you get the puffin, but you also get the seagull, so it's distracting, so I'd not edit that shot. This is quite an inquisitive shot. It's looking out what's going on, so this is another good shot to edit. I would probably crop in closer, so something like that. And if you like this previous edit, and you say, oh yeah, I like the colours and that, and how the temperature, you can just do Command and C on a Mac. That will copy all the settings from that picture, and you Command and V on a Mac, and it'll basically paste all your settings, including the crop, including the masking if you tick that masking box. So that's what I've done there. It's Control and C and Control and V on a PC, and decrease the white a bit. So there we go. It's quite a nice shot. You could probably crop it in a bit more black in it. There we go. We'll have that. It's not as sharp as the other shots, but it will do. Again, with the grasses, nice effects, but you're not getting the detail. You're getting a third of the shot is just grass that's got a lot of brocuth in. Again, the grass has come over the puffin here, and the pigeons in the background, they're a bit of a distraction. Again, distraction of the seagulls. So you could possibly, to save this one, you could possibly crop and press X, and if you brought that over like that, that's just focuses on too much on the nest. So if you put it in the middle and maybe then Control and V and just paste those settings over. And because I've not pressed crop, it's not cropped it, so I'll just recrop that. There we go. So the seagulls are not as prominent anymore. And if you're shooting with a camera that has got maybe 61 megapixels or even 30, you can zoom in and you can crop in post. So let's 5 that, blue that. Another distracting shot with the seagull in the background. Good bird in flight, but just distracting. This is a hero shot, cracking shot this. So I could just copy Command and V, and that'll copy the settings across. But I want this rock area here from the top left down to the bottom right, and I want to put a vignette so it masks that out a bit more and gives a bit more prominence to the seal. A lot of these seals, they come onto the beach at high tide, and then low tide they go out again onto the reefs. So let's just get this colour right, a bit of clarity, a bit more shadows. Yeah, quite happy with that. 5 and blue. That's last couple of shots. Again, this puffin is there outside the nest, but this grass is overtaking this puffin, and there's a third grass. This one is a puffin sticking its tongue out. Bit of an unusual shot, unusual behaviour, but this one is probably one that I like better out of the 3 at the end. So I'll copy and paste my settings over. I want to take this seagull out here in the bottom right, so I'll just do that by cropping and moving the crop over. A bit more yellow in there. Maybe move the crop up as well. See that the puffin here is dead central. So they're just a few edits from Bempton Cliffs of how many have we got? We've got 35 pictures here, and I'll maybe just go back to the barn owl here and see if we can recover anything from this barn owl. Let's crop into that. And if you just look closely, if you zoom in, it's not quite sharp. But what I can do, and what I do normally in one of my shots, and I'm not paid by Topaz. Topaz is a great program, and you can basically process it and try and get the image sharper. Topaz AI, you can get rid of the noise and also increase the sharpness. So I'll just do that right now. I'll remove the noise and try and sharpen it and see if we can get it a bit sharper. So it makes it from a 29 megabyte picture to a 38 megabyte picture. So it does increase the size of the file, but it does give you a good quality DNG file. And I'll just go backwards to say, oh, there we go. So I think that is a lot sharper by going through Topaz denoise. So that's much sharper. So what I sometimes do is I've got some presets, and I normally have it on one particular preset and then work backwards with my developing tools. And sometimes I work with my developing tools and then go on a preset. It just all depends. So let's try and get this owl, or the whole thing, level it up a bit more, and then maybe try and crop in a bit as well. Help if we get it centered. And there we go. That's not a bad shot of an owl from a distance. So 5 that and 9 that. So just a few tips and tricks to kind of get you started with Lightroom. But I would certainly say some of the highlight shots from a friend's trip to Bempton Cliffs. It's probably this shot here, and this is probably a good one as well, and also this one of the Gannet in the rain, maybe the water droplets as well, and these puffins. I think you should be really pleased with all these. I think this is the hero shot. So I opened these up and didn't do any editing, and I just looked at the seal and was like, yeah, that's a really good seal shot. You can tell that you've taken it from a cliff down onto the beach, and the seal is looking poised to either go back out or just chill in the sun. So I hope you've liked this video, just some hints and tips, and when I get a bit more time I'll go into some more detailed stuff of Lightroom and some of my workflow another time. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and take care. Bye for now.